So I've decided to do a quick video for forming and solving equations from word problems, just to go through a good example and just to model it a little bit for you guys. Okay, so we're looking at question B6. Twins Susan and Stephen both have some money. Stephen has £80 more than Susan. Okay, so suppose that N is the amount of money in pounds that Susan has. Write down an expression for the amount of money that Stephen has. Okay, so it's part A. So we'll call, no, I can't call it S because Susan's S. So we'll write Stephen. Okay, Susan has 80, Stephen has 80 more than Susan. Sorry, Susan has N, Stephen has 80 more. 80 more than N is N plus 80. Okay. Their aunt gives them both £20 for their birthday. Write an expression for the amount of money Susan has. So, assuming that Susan hasn't spent any of the money she had, she's still got her original N, but she's got another 20. Okay, Stephen still got his original N, and he's still got the 80 that he had more than Susan, but he's now got another 20 on top of that. So he's now on N plus 100. After their aunt's birthday present, Stephen now has 3 times as much money as Susan. Write an equation and solve it to find the value of N. How much money does Stephen have now? Okay, so Susan has N plus 20. Stephen has N plus 100. Okay, and Stephen's N plus 100 is 3 times bigger than Susan's N plus 20. Okay, so that means that N plus 100, Stephen's money, is equal to 3 times, so 3 lots of, and brackets are a nice way of showing lots of, 3 lots of this N plus 20, okay? Really easy to solve that now. We've been asked to write an equation and solve, and how much money does Stephen have? Okay, we've written an equation, let's solve it. So 3, expanding the brackets, 3 times N is 3N, 3 times 20 is 60. Okay, so N plus 100 equals 3N plus 60. We can now go about solving that in the way that we've done before. We're going to take an N off either side. So 100 equals 2N plus 60 minus 60 from either side. Leaves us with 2N equals 40. Divide that by 2. N equals 20. So we've solved that. N equals 20. I know I've done it quite quickly. You have had quite a bit of practice doing this so far today, so I'm sure you'll be fine with that. And the last thing was, how much money does Stephen have now? Okay, so we knew that Stephen had N plus 100. We know that N is 20. 100 plus 20. Stephen has £120. Okay. It's worth, when we're doing this type of question in the classroom, have a good chat about the work with the person next to you. It can be a little bit tricky to translate the words into an equation in a way that makes sense and is correct. So, work together. Let's get this done.